Hey TCKs and non-TCKs. If you are a TCK, then hey, you know what we're about. If you are a non-TCK, hit that subscribe button, watch this video to learn more about, I don't know, TCK stuff. Anyways, let's get started. So for this video, I wanted to talk about the question, where are you from? And how different TCKs approach answering this particular question. To do so, I reached out to some other TCKs that I happen to grow up with and know, to see what their input was and how they sort of faced the challenge of the question, where are you from? So let's see what this TCK had to say.
So for me, I don't like the question because I myself don't know where I am from. For most people, it's where they were born or where they spent their formative years. I always hesitate to say I'm from where I was born and grew up, not the US, because my family has been and continues to be very American, US, in our thoughts and culture. Yet, I don't want to say I'm from somewhere in the US because I've only been here my adult life, and personally don't quite connect 100% with the American life. So I struggle to answer the question when people ask because I want to give an honest answer, but also don't want to give a speech and spend the next 2 hours talking about how cool it must be to be from another country. Because I don't feel like I'm from some foreign country, and I also don't feel like I'm from the US. I hope that makes sense.
First of all, I want to thank this TCK for being incredibly open and honest and willing to share their approach to this question. Similar to them, whenever I'd come to America, we would go see family or support in churches or supporters, friends, whatever, and we'd have to get up, me and my sister, sometimes, whether it was in Sunday school or whether it was at, an actual church presentation, and kind of give that spiel. And so when it came to making actual friends, I didn't want to be that person on the soapbox that was just talking about me and where I lived. And this TCK brought up a really valid point. Half the time, honestly, I don't even know where I'm from either. So to answer that for someone else when I don't personally know myself, it's kind of a double whammy. Now, let's see what this other TCK had to say about answering the question, where are you from?
Sure. Whether or not you spent a lot of years in your parents' home country, your overseas country still has a big place in your heart and has shaped you into who you are today. Usually the question, where are you from, is used to connect you with some form of identity or nationality. When you have lived overseas, you feel a part of both, so saying one or the other doesn't quite capture who you are.
I don't even know where to start with this one because I absolutely love the fact that this TCK said that saying one or the other doesn't quite capture who you are. Because honestly, who I am isn't the places I've lived. And yeah, that's the stories that everyone's gonna want to hear. That's the memories that I will always, forever hold. But I don't want to just be an accumulation of countries or islands or villages that I've lived in. I want to be known for me as an individual. Because again, going back to the definition of a TCK is that, you take your parents' culture and you take the culture that you've been, surrounded by, culture or cultures, multiples depending, and you take from each of those pieces and you create your own third culture within yourself. So answering where are you from, for me it's like, do I answer in the now? Do I say, okay, yeah, I'm in Dallas, Texas? Or do I say, I'm from Honiara, Solomon Islands? And neither one, if I say, oh, I'm from Dallas, Texas, it feels I feel a betrayal to Honiara. But if I say Honiara, then that brings up a whole slew of questions where I'm not really even sure, if this person is asking because they legitimately care and maybe there's an actual friendship that could be, you know, grown from that encounter, or is it like, oh, it's just asking out of curiosity, and then, you know, they'll have a cool story to tell, like, oh yeah, I met this person one time. She's like from some third world culture. I don't know, it's like in the Caribbean or, you know, off the coast of Africa. I'm like, no, Solomon Islands, mate. It's in the South Pacific. So answering that question's not always fun, I guess, for me personally. But it's a question that myself and I'm sure many other TCKs come into contact with. So, to wrap it up, if you are a TCK, let me know in the comments, please. How do you answer this question? What's your approach? Like, what do you do, you know? Like, when someone, like a complete stranger is like, oh yeah, so where are you from? And then there's that momentary pause where it's like, crap. This question, okay, what do you do? Like, give me a scenario and tell me how you handle it, and I don't know, just how do you answer that question? Anyways, hey TCK, it's a big little world out there. Let's make it smaller.